Hello, I am Eray Selik, the director of Yilmaz Academy, and we are once again with you in a new Behind the Window program. In this new program, we will introduce a new machine from our VED department together with Mr. Cesar. The model of our new machine is SCM 420L4. Welcome, Mr. Cesar.
Hello, Mr. Eray.
Mr. Cesar has completed the software works of this machine. After my presentation, he will assist me in the sections related to the program. As I mentioned, this machine is the SCM 420L4 model. Our machine is mainly composed of a combination of two machines. As our customers know very well, this includes our ACK 420 machine, the upcutting saw machine, and the HDL 400 automatic length stop that we have newly designed. These two machines make up the SCM 420L4 model. The meaning of L4 here refers to a 4-meter-long conveyor. Actually, our 4-meter-long conveyor has a useful pushing stroke of 3.6 meters, as you know very well, Mr. Cesar. It has a 3.6-meter pushing stroke. In addition to our L4 model, we also have an L7 model. Customers who want to cut longer profiles can order 7-meter-long conveyor instead of the 4-meter one. With an additional apparatus, this conveyor can easily reach 7 meters with a 6.6 meter of useful pushing stroke. I would also like to mention an important point that our customers value greatly. The conveyor is located on the right side of the machine, but if desired, depending on the workshop layout, this conveyor can be mounted on the left side as well. Yes, as you know very well, Mr. Cesar, in this machine, we can perform both automatic and manual cutting operations, right? We can perform slicing automatically at 90 degrees, but when we want to make angular cuts at 22.5, 45, 60, and 75 degrees, we can perform manual cutting operations using the two-hand push button. Automatically. Yes, yes. If you allow me, I would like to continue, Mr. Cesar. As you can see, the automatic cutting operations in our machine are fully automated with this pneumatic mechanism. There are two vertical clamps at the top and a horizontal clamp group that serves the function of fixing and clamping during cutting. Additionally, for safety, there is a safety relay that prevents the operator from opening the cover during automatic cutting operations, ensuring that the cover remains closed at all times. The manual cutting operations are performed by manually rotating the table to the desired angle. There is an apparatus on the machine that, when attached to the slot on the table, allows the table to be rotated to the desired angle using a set screw and then locked in place for the cutting operation. Another set screw allows for locking the table at intermediate angles. The cutting group inside the cabin, the saw group, moves upwards hydraulically. This allows for high quality and smooth cutting operations, especially for aluminum profiles. The upward movement of the saw group can be adjusted manually according to the thickness of the material to be cut. During the cutting of aluminum profiles, the saw group needs to be cooled. The cooling of the saw group is also provided here, and the amount of spraying can be adjusted with a valve inside the cabinet.
Testere grubunun, kabin içerisindeki testere grubunun yukarı çıkması burada gördüğümüz bir düğme vasıtasıyla ayarlanabilmekte. Malzemenin kalınlığına göre, keseceğimiz malzemenin kalınlığına göre testere grubunun yukarı çıkması manuel olarak ayarlanabilmekte. Ayrıca alüminyum profilleri kesme sırasında testere grubunun soğutulması gerekiyor. Yine destere grubunun soğutma işlemi de Sezer Bey.
Yes, the pushing group of the conveyor is fully servo-controlled, right, Mr. Cesar? Here, we have a Schneider automation system.
Kabin içerisindeki bir valf ile sağlanabilmekte. Evet. Makinenin
This servo system allows for high precision in positioning profile measurements as we desire, with an accuracy of approximately plus or minus 0.1 millimeters.
sistemi bulunmakta. Bu servo sistemi oldukça yüksek hassasiyetlerde ölçüleri, profil ölçülerini bizim sağlamamızı, istediğimiz ölçüde hassas bir şekilde pozisyonlanmasını sağlıyor. Bu yaklaşık olarak artı eksi 0.1-1,5 milimetre, 0.1-1,5 milimetre mertebesinde olabilmekte.
The conveyor is highly durable and has a static structure, and the mechanisms working on it are designed to operate for many years without problems. There is a rack and pinion system that ensures high precision. I also want to talk about the movement mechanism of the conveyor. Instead of a belt pulley system, the movement mechanism is provided by a rack and pinion system. As you can see, there is a rail system on an aluminium extrusion material. A linear carriage rail system is present. On the back of the conveyor, the movement of the pushing group is provided by a rack and pinion mechanism. These are the general technical features of the automatic slicing machine.
Lineer araba ray sistemi bulunuyor.
Lineer araba ray sistemi bulunmakta. Ayrıca makinenin, konveyörün arka kısmında hareket, bu itme grubunun hareketini sağlayan rack pinyon mekanizması bulunmaktadır. SCM 420 otomatik dilimleme makinesinde benim anlatacağım genel teknik özellikler bunlar.
Now, the most important part is the programming and screen interface of the machine, which will be explained by our software engineer, Mr. Cesar, from our VED department, and he will also perform a demo cutting process at the end of the explanation.
Now, I will give you information about the interface of the machine. Our machine has different cutting modes. The easiest and most commonly used by our customers is the manual cutting mode. In this mode, you use the conveyor as a stop, entering the desired length to be cut, and send the machine to that measurement. For example, I entered 2500, and then you write down how many pieces you want to cut from this product. Once the set quantity is reached, the cutting process is completed. After entering the desired measurement, we need to send that measurement to the machine. Once the machine reaches the measurement, it will give the necessary warnings at the top. After that, the machine performs the cutting operation, and we can collect the product. Once the set quantity is reached, the cutting mode will again notify you that the quantity has been reached. You can then reset the quantity information and continue. Our next cutting mode is the list cutting mode. In this mode, you have a raw material profile, and you can cut products of different lengths from this profile by creating a list. For example, I enter a length of 2500 or 3500 millimeters. From this profile length, I want to cut different measurements. We open our list for this. As you can see here, there are approximately 50 lists. I can write down the products I want to cut, along with their quantities. After entering this information, I go to the cutting screen. Once on the cutting screen, the first product in the list appears, and after sending the machine to that measurement and preparing the process, the machine starts cutting. The products are cut in sequence. If I want to perform a more controlled cutting process with the samples I cut, I can switch the machine from automatic mode to manual mode and perform the cutting process myself each time. However, our customers usually prefer to use the automatic mode. The quantity information here comes from our list. After filling in the quantity information, you can cut that many products from the profile. The slicing mode is similar to the list cutting mode, with the only difference being that you enter how long the profile should be cut from the raw material. It will continue cutting that length until the raw material is exhausted or the set quantity is reached. For example, I enter 2500 here. From this 2500 mm raw material, I want to cut 100 mm short pieces. It can continue until the quantity or length is finished. I adjust the cutting time from the place you see here. This refers to the time it takes for the machine to automatically move and complete the cutting process after moving. This can vary depending on the density of the material or the ratio of PVC to aluminum we are using. We need to adjust this according to the machine's cutting capability. Once the raw material length is set, the machine starts cutting the product automatically. The CSV cutting mode allows us to upload cutting lists created on the computer in CSV format to the machine. The machine reads these lists and cuts according to the specified measurements and quantities. For example, here we have two cutting lengths that we transferred from the computer to the machine. Let me briefly show you the transfer screen here. After inserting the memory card into the machine, when we read the SD card, a file appears directly from our memory card. We select that file, and after clicking to read the file, the necessary information is provided, including whether the file has been read and whether there are any errors. The information about those products is then listed. I can update the information on this list via this interface. I can revise the customer name, customer code, or length and quantity information here and work on that product again. We also have a raw material length. This raw material length determines the maximum length from which we will cut profiles. This is usually 6 meters or the 3700 millimeters length that the machine can cut. I can operate this in both automatic and manual modes. The interface is generally simple and user-friendly. You can perform easy processes very quickly. You can transfer data in various ways. These data can be cutting lists. One method is transferring via the SD card, and another is connecting the machine to our internet network and uploading files from there. Through a system we call the FTP server, we can connect to the machine and upload the files we want to cut without going to the machine itself. That's all the information I can provide about the interface. I can also explain how the necessary scenario works with a cutting demo.
We would like to thank Mr. Cesar for introducing the program of the machine. Now, Mr. Cesar will perform a demo cutting operation for us. Yes, Mr. Cesar.
We have placed a sample profile for the demo cutting in our machine. Its length is 2600 millimeters, and we will cut 5 100 millimeters pieces from this length in slicing mode. After placing the profile, we always leave a tolerable amount of extra material for what we call the edge cut to ensure a clean cut. One of the important points in this cutting process is to make sure the vice group does not interfere with the cutting line. After prioritizing this, we can start the cutting process. Yes, after sending the raw material length, we entered the quantity and length values, and the machine is ready for cutting. After placing the profile, the machine goes through its preparation stages. First, we close the vise. After starting the saws, we close the cabin cover, and then we start the saws. Now the machine is waiting for us to press both hands to begin cutting. After the first cut, we release the hands, and the machine automatically moves to the next measurement and continues cutting. We can adjust this cutting time from the interface. If it is too short, we can increase it from here. If it's too long, we can shorten it. Now the machine has reached the set quantity, and our cutting process is finished. After the saws stop, we open the cabin cover and take the samples.
Yes, we check the cutting quality of the material. As you can see, our machine has performed a very clean and high-quality cutting process.
Temiz, kaliteli bir kesim işlemini makinamız gerçekleştirdi.
Thank you, Mr. Cesar.
Thank you, Mr. Arai.
Ben ne anlatacağım? Hello everyone, welcome. If you have any questions, you can write on the comments line and I'm going to answer. Sanki yayın kesildi mi acaba? Tamam, aç. Hello everyone, you can write me any questions on the chat board and I am going to answer you. Thank you for watching our video and thank you for attending our live stream. I guess there is no questions, so see you on the next video.